Well, I spent a couple of hours in Starbucks in Cambridge. Just got back from Niagara Falls, and it's getting warmer and warmer. Still no snow. I think now I can change my hat. Yeah, hello? Yeah. Oh, you got a load? Okay. Yeah, that was my friend calling, who switched from tankers to flatbed, and I was telling him about oversized loads, that he should do them because they pay more money. And he just called me. He's panicking because they gave him his first oversized load, and it's a 12-foot wide double drop load, but they're putting it on a step deck. And he's going to Virginia with the regular load, and then in Virginia he picks up this double drop 12-foot wide load and drives back, and he's like, oh, did I make the right decision? What did I do? I said, well, basically stay cool, you know, keep your wits around you, read your permit, and most importantly, watch your right side. To get back to what I was saying before, like the Niagara Falls, right? So the first day was really cold, so I went out at night and took some photos. They were in the separate video. And then Sunday, yesterday, it was much warmer, so I went further to the actual fall on the Canadian side, and the hotel was actually where I was staying, this cheap hotel. I never stay there because it's, the chain itself is, you know, it's nights in. It's pretty terrible, but that one was okay. 45 bucks a night, you know, Canadian. That's a good deal. But on don't think that price stays the same year round. Like on let's say Christmas and on holidays when they have lots of tourists, the price is just, it's over 100 bucks. And so yeah, next day I went to the actual fall, and there were a few people around there. I took some pictures. But I found that the pic, you know, when you take a photo, it doesn't do that fall justice, you know, because it's static. Like, look at this. But when you shoot a video, the video, it's like overwhelming, so much water falling down. And this was taken with my Nikon D5500. Check it out. Okay, and on the way I did alignment. I don't know, something is going on with my vehicle's alignments all at once. You know, the Mac, I fixed that one, and then I flipped tires. Now the truck driving straight, but on the Mac I have to keep the wheel like this because it keeps pulling to the right all the time, and the guy said it's your tires. Now on the Mazda, the wheel was sitting like this, you know, like a little bit like this, was pulling to the left. I never had this on a previous Mazda. Like, what the heck? They probably didn't check the car properly, or maybe I don't remember me hitting any bumps or anything. So I took it to the Mazda dealer in Kitchener, and they did it under warranty because they didn't see any damage or anything. I said it's probably just insufficient pre-sale inspection. And now I'm driving, you know, it's 125 kilometers, 70, what is it, like 80 miles from this place, from Cambridge to Niagara Falls and then back. And it was windy, and I noticed like the steering, it's just, I'm not happy with it. It's not like the Mazda corrected the steering. It seems like it's okay, but then I'm looking at these things over here, like these two stalks. but they're kind of like weird, you know. Like I think it should be. Then I'm looking at here at these two spots in here and try to send them against the screen, so it's hard to see like which way is straight, you know. But anyway, so the steering was again pretty difficult. It's like there's no free play or not enough toe or caster. So I don't want to go to Mazda, even though they only charge like 60 bucks for alignment. So now there's a place here, Cal Tire. I never use them for my personal vehicle. I mostly go there with the truck, but I checked their website and it says, yeah, they do alignments. So I called them and said, you have laser? The guy says, yeah. So okay. So I want to check my wheels as well. I think on a new vehicle, it's, you know, you don't trust but verify. I want to retorque all the wheels. Well, I'm out of Cal Tire. I like this place for alignment better because you know, they took me in, they showed me when the car was on the hoist, and they have laser alignment here, so you know, the guy puts those little things on the wheels and shows him exactly the numbers on each wheel. Basically what he found, he went for a test drive, and what he found is that the right rear wheel, everything was in the green, like I knew that, and that's what Mazda did, you know. But they don't pay attention to little details, and that's why I decided to. Sometimes it's worth it to pay extra money to somebody, you know. I said I want like customizable alignment, you know, because yeah, you go to a dealer, they just, oh, as long as it's all in the green, you know, your numbers, toe, camber, caster, you know. And I don't think they do a road test, but here you pay a bit more, and you know, they listen to you, they bring you in, they show you the screen. And the guy kind of like shared with me his thinking. He said, you know, your right wheel is like it's green, but it's too close to the red, and actually he was saying that it was kind of pulling the car a little bit to the left, like one wheel was alignment was kind of weird. And then he said on your front, I think he was talking about the toe, yeah, he increased the toe a little bit, he says, to give the car that little like road feel. My healthy garden salad is here. Salt, lots of pepper. I might get a salmon or shrimp later on. Now I'm leaving the Boston Pizza, and I noticed this interesting sign here that says, we will be closing our doors tonight at 7 p.m. for our annual staff Christmas party. And they have it on both sides of the doors, and I didn't see them before, but today is January 25th. So is this like a pre-Christmas party for 2016, or are these old signs, or do they really have a staff Christmas party in January? Well, the lunch is done. Sorry, there's sun in there. And it's only 2 o'clock. I checked my messages, or rather my email. Nothing from my dispatch. Mondays are usually slow. And I was checking to see what movies came out while I was working, and now they have this Fifth Wave, like a science fiction flick, and they have the Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, like 2 films I'm interested in. And the director for the last one is Michael Bay, pretty famous guy, and I think he's Canadian, so I want to see that one. And my first choice was the Fifth Wave, because I'm a sucker for science fiction. But then I read the reviews, and pretty much like all of them were negative, saying that it's a ripoff from other movies. but the theater where the soldiers of Benghazi is playing, like there is a small theater in here. Well, actually, it's like has like 10 screens in Cambridge, but like a bigger and better theater with IMAX and stuff like that is in Kitchener, which is about 3-4 kilometers away. So I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone. I'm gonna do drive test for the alignment that the guy just did at the Cal Tire, and I'll probably go see the secret soldiers of Benghazi, and what the heck, maybe I'll catch the other one after that one, like the fifth wave, because I got nothing to do. The truck is ready, the trailer is ready, but the truck, after I flip the tires, right, the truck is now pulling a little bit to the right, the big truck, and now I gotta spend the money on tires, but I really don't want to do that because that's like, I don't know what, almost $1,000 for 2 front tires. So far they work, so we'll see what happens later. Okay, let's do the test on the way to Kitchener. +3 today, +3 Celsius, which is about 36-37 F. That's where I bought my 13-inch Apple MacBook Pro at the Staples over here. Switched to a smaller model. Lane it pulls a bit to the left, but I don't think that the road is even. You know, here we have always lots of accidents because there's 2 lanes go on this Highway 6 here. And there's always people flying by from this lane. They're trying to go in here, and sudden braking is common here. And so if you take your eyes off the road for 1 second, you can hit somebody. I think it did become better. Yeah, the car holds the road better. And the guy said they're gonna update their alignment machine soon. He says they're getting a new model, which is supposed to be better. He says, I'll give you a call once it's here, and we'll check your numbers again. I said, hey, what's your name? Because this guy seemed like you know, a pro. And when I was joking with him about the power of my car, I said, you know, be careful, it's 184 horsepower. He looked at me and he said, well, it shouldn't be too difficult after my Corvette. So I just shut up. And the guy, when I was paying the counter there, the clerk says, oh, most guys here drive vehicles with over 300 horsepower. I said, hey, I was one of them. I just sold the 400 horsepower Dodge Ram because it was killing me with this gas mileage in the city. So nothing's wrong with high horsepower vehicles, as long as you're prepared to dig deep into your pockets. to pay for gas. All right, here's my favorite movie theater. Like this movie I want to see, it's just a regular. It's not IMAX or 3D or anything like that, but I checked out the trailer and it looks very, you know, realistic. I just love these you know, war movies. Now here's an interesting place across the street. I wonder if they allow filming in there, but I saw the advertising at the preview in the movie theater. It says Sky Zone Trampoline Park, and this commercial they ran, you know, it shows like they have, I don't know, 2 dozens, 3 dozens of different types of, you know, trampolines, and you can just jump to your heart content in there, you know. Maybe I should check them out. And I see some heavy duty pickup trucks in the front, so I think people just come in there to relax after a hard day at work. And this whole area here, right, there's a Home Depot, there's Chapters, the bookstore, and the Starbucks inside. There's a movie theater. But on this side, these businesses don't seem to be doing very well, like except the Home Depot. Like these three, they're constantly changing. There was like that one is the one to the right was, yeah, it used to be some artist supplies, you know, like brushes and stuff like that. Then this one was a Staples before, I'm pretty sure. Now that one looks like it's closed as well. Like all the signs are off the front, and the sign in the front, there's no lettering on it. Like for some reason, like there's a Boston Pizza over there, and there's always people in there, you know, nice restaurant, the same as I just was having lunch at, but in Cambridge. But this area between Boston Pizza and Home Depot seemed like it's haunted or something. Yeah, one last thing, I forgot to say that, you know, I still try with this caffeine thing, and last 2 days I didn't have any caffeine in my system for two days. No green tea, no coffee, no nothing. I'm just trying some herbal tea to see how it's gonna affect my skin, and I do feel better, and I think my skin looks better. So catch you later. Thanks for watching.